Networking and marketing made simple is for you, the business owner who has a product, a service, or a message that you believe in. My name is Scott Aaron, and each week we'll take a behind-the-scenes look into the real-world marketing and networking tactics and strategies for getting what you have in front of you to a lot more people. Thanks for spending time with me, and now let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple. Super excited for today's episode because we are going to be talking about one of my favorite newest features of LinkedIn, which are LinkedIn newsletters, and the 4 reasons why you need to start a newsletter if you have the capability, which I'm also going to dive into how you can check. But before we get into that, as I mentioned last week in my episode, Nancy and I are opening back up the doors to our high-level group mastermind called the Expert Authority Mastermind. Now, we're going to be reopening the doors in January, but we are allowing people to pre-apply. We're only taking 10 to 15 people tops for all of next year, because if you are that person that is picking up clients, you're a business coach, you're an online entrepreneur, you have a brick and mortar, but you're building your business online, you have clients, but you're working way too hard from client to client. The income is not consistent. You want the income to grow. You want to go from, high 5 figures, low 6 figures to multiple 6 figures, upwards of 7 figures. Then this is what we teach you in our elite level mastermind called the Expert Authority Mastermind. We meet on a weekly basis. There are so many added benefits to this. You have a back-end portal where there's literally training after training that Nancy and I have done about marketing and branding, your colors, your messaging on social media, optimizing all of your social media, namely LinkedIn, but how to start and launch your podcast, how to write your first book, how to become that expert authority in your space. If that is you and you're listening to this and that's your big goal for 2022, then we're going to leave you our email address and also the direct link to schedule a call with us. We can take an hour, we can sit down on Zoom or a phone call, and we can map out if this is going to be a good fit for you. So if you are in that high 5 figures, low 6 figures, and you are looking to ramp up and create a business of more ease and fluidity, but at the same time become that expert authority in your space, then our mastermind is for you. Like I was mentioning, we meet weekly. So there are 2 trainings per week, per month, and there are 2 Q&A, and this is all done in a group. So the first week is a training, next week is Q&A, next week is a training, next week is a Q&A, and that is all year long. But on top of that, you do get a monthly one-on-one session with either myself or Nancy, depending upon what the need of your business is, but also a quarterly planning session with Nancy and myself, which is about a 90-minute session with us. So you get 4 of those. So on top of the one-on-one and the monthly one-on-one, the quarterly one-on-one, and the group coaching every single week, the only way that you will not achieve the goals that you set forth is if you don't take action on what we help you achieve. So again, you can email support@scottaaron.net, which I'll leave in here, or there's a direct link where you can book a call. Again, 10 people, 15 tops we are taking when we reopen the doors in January. So if that's you, we would love to talk to you. Now, as I mentioned early in this episode, there's a brand new feature on LinkedIn called LinkedIn Newsletters, and I just launched mine about a week and a half ago. And crazy enough, I have over 3,100 people already subscribed to my newsletter. It's insane. And it's slowly rolling out. And the way that you can check first if you have it is if you go on to the regular desktop version of LinkedIn and you click on write an article, it will say either publish if it's an article, or next to that, it'll say create a newsletter. Now, not everyone has the ability to do so. There are some parameters that need to be met. You have to be currently producing consistent, engaging content. You need to be following the terms and conditions and the rules and regulations of the user agreement of LinkedIn. But also you need to have over 150 connections / followers to get the acknowledgement that you can do that. And they're slowly rolling it out. So if you don't have it yet, don't worry. Eventually everybody will. But if after listening to this, you go and check and you do, there are 4 reasons why that you need to start a newsletter. So number 1, upon creating your newsletter, and mine is called LinkedIn Tips and Updates. You can find it right on LinkedIn. You can even go to my profile on LinkedIn, which I will leave in the description. I'll even share a link to my newsletter so you can subscribe. And when you create your newsletter, what LinkedIn does, which is ingenious, it automatically sends out an invitation to every single one of your connections to subscribe to your newsletter. So remember how we always talk about making sure that we don't do anything that disrupts the user agreement of LinkedIn. We don't want to send out too many messages, too many connections, all of those things because we don't want to get blocked. LinkedIn wants people to create newsletters that are going to be consistent with it because, again, they want more visibility and more reasons of why people should spend time on the platform. So when you do that, it sends out an invitation to all of your contacts. So once you create it and it's out in the open, LinkedIn will, and here's the great thing. I have, almost 28,000 connections. LinkedIn sent an invitation out to all 27,000 of them, and over 10% have already accepted the invitation to subscribe to my newsletter, which is amazing. I mean, and it's people that want to hear about what you're doing. They want to read about what you're offering. And remember, a newsletter is best used when you're educating and you're informing, whether it's tips or updates, whatever it may be. Number 2, when you actually publish your newsletter, this is the craziest thing. As you start publishing your newsletters, LinkedIn does 2 things. Number 1, they send out a push notification, which means that little notification bell in the top part of the toolbar, right-hand side of LinkedIn. They send out a push notification that says, hey, Scott Aaron has just released a new newsletter. Go check it out. And it organically drives traffic to those subscribers to go read your new newsletter. But second, not only do they send a push notification, they also email every single person that subscribes to your newsletter via email from LinkedIn. Hey, check out Scott Aaron's latest newsletter. And it's in a newsletter form. And then at the bottom of it, it says join the discussion, which means if someone clicks that, it redirects them to that newsletter that I've just released so they can they can comment, they can share. So not only is LinkedIn getting your newsletter visibility with a push notification of those that subscribe, it's emailing every single one of your subscribers each time you release a new newsletter. Amazing. Number 3, when you have a newsletter, it allows you to build trust and rapport either daily, monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly. So again, it allows you to build trust and rapport daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So when you create this newsletter, it's going to ask, how often are you going to write a newsletter? And there's a drop-down menu, and you can select daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. Now, if you were to ask me, Scott, what frequency do you recommend? There's 2 that I would recommend. Weekly or bi-weekly. Daily, that's too much of a commitment. It's too demanding of you to create the content in order to do so. Monthly, it's not enough of a frequency to really draw in that know, like, and trust, because there may be people that have similar newsletters to yours that may be publishing weekly or bi-weekly that are going to get more organic attention than you. So what I would suggest is doing it either weekly or bi-weekly. I chose to do mine weekly. So the way that I'm doing it is I'm doing a LinkedIn Live on Mondays and Thursdays, and then I'm recapping those lives in a newsletter form that's my weekly tips and update from that previous week. So it's a good rhythm because all I have to do is stay consistent with doing my lives on Mondays and Thursdays, which I always will. And that recap video will be right there, or the recap newsletter will be there on Friday. Now, fourth and final, when creating a LinkedIn newsletter, it adds instant credibility to your business. Remember, you are looking to do things on social media that pour value into others. Whether it's a video, whether it's a post, a poll, a blog, a YouTube channel, whatever your social outlet is or the way that you want to create content, you're doing it to add credibility. Having a podcast, writing a book, a newsletter is a LinkedIn article on steroids. I mean, it's insane. And again, you start to brand yourself. So when you have this newsletter, you have your own newsletter called LinkedIn Tips and Updates by Scott Aaron. So now you're having people flock to your content because it's something that they want to read about, to hear about, to know about, to get educated and informed on. So whatever you can do to add consistent credibility to your business, to yourself, to your brand, to your offering, it's only going to build that know, like, and trust with your audience that much quicker. So again, number one, as you create this newsletter, it sends an invitation out to every single one of your connections to subscribe to it to build it very quickly. Number two, there's a push notification and an email sent out to every single person that subscribes every single time you publish. It also allows you to build rapport and trust either daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, whatever frequency you prefer. And finally, it adds instant credibility to your business and brand. So again, go onto LinkedIn, go to the desktop version, hit write an article, and it may say create a newsletter, which I recommend you do so, and it walks you through the steps of how. And again, if you are that person that's listening to this that is making, upper 5, low 6 figures, and you want to create even more income and scale your business with more ease, you want to create consistent leads and more clients, you want to be that expert authority in your space, then I will leave my calendar link and email where you can contact myself and Nancy to be one of the 10 to 15 people that join our year-long expert authority mastermind that opens up in January. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please enjoy the rest of your days, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much again for checking out today's episode. And if you are listening through iTunes, Spotify, wherever you are, please leave me a rating and review. Let me know what you loved, what you would like to see improved, or ideas you have for future episodes. And if you are interested in taking your business to the next level, don't hesitate to go to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me, where I can learn more about you, your business, what you're struggling with, and how we can work together. And don't forget to check out my wife, Nancy, and mine, our free community on Facebook called LinkedIn Leads for Life. We would love to see you in there. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you, everyone, for your support. Grateful for each and every one of you.